Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute on here. Want to start posting on here again. I have so many music projects and stuff I want to do with this, and we'll see what happens, man. But I wanted to kick things off again with something fun that I'm hoping that this reaches enough people, because I want to know their answers too. I feel like there should be a lot of people in the metal community should make videos about this, because I want to know, and I really don't know. Like, there's so many content creators and people out there, but the one thing I don't know is what got you into metal. What was the thing that got you into metal? Who was the person, or what was the first artist or band that you heard that led you down this pipeline of like heavy music? And it's something that, like, if I had a podcast, you would have to ask that with every single guest, because I really don't, the vast majority of people that I look up to in the scene or whatever, I don't know actually. And but for me, it's very easy and obvious. There's a lot of people that may have known this because on my main channel, I talked about this before. I might have talked about this a long time ago too, but it's very easy. Like the Mortal Kombat soundtrack in 1995, right? That was the thing that changed things for me. In 1995, I was 7 years old, and I did not have an identity, right? Because most kids at that point don't. You're just a kid just doing whatever, playing some fun video games, playing outside, whatever. But music is just kind of up in the air. And then it's kind of whoever is around you that inspires you is kind of the way that you start leaning. But that didn't happen for me. It was just Mortal Kombat. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then, the movie drops, and I loved the house music that was in it, the techno. But the metal, like there was Fear Factory. They had their song Zero Signal. That played during Johnny Cage versus Scorpion. Right? Once they actually make it to the Nether Realm and they're fighting on this like little bridge, and then you have Zero Signal playing. And I'm like, dude, this sounds awesome. Like, I was like, this sounds so awesome, right? I loved also Reptile versus Liu Kang, and that just had some crazy like house music over it. Love that. But just Johnny Cage versus Scorpion, that playing, it just burned into my brain. And it was something that, like, I need to find more music that sounds like this, and that's where you kind of just started trying to get your hands on anything that was like metal adjacent. And then luckily MTV was a big thing that kind of got the engine going, because obviously Korn was on there, Limp Bizkit, like that type of stuff started to like pop up pretty soon afterwards. And fast forward to like 2000 or whatever, you had Mudvayne's LD50, you had Dig on MTV, and that was like a whoa, what is this? Like, what the hell is this? This is crazy. And then becoming like obsessed with like Mudvayne, Slipknot, obviously Disturbed. I still like Disturbed, even though I understand that they're silly, they're cringe to a lot of people. I still love a lot of cringe type of music. And David Draymond, signing bombs that blew up some, Palestinian children. Not my favorite person, unfortunately, but I still enjoy their music. But yeah, man, I think about it every once in a while. What the hell, what would I be doing? Because so much of what I've done throughout my life has been, metal related. I've been in some bands that were pretty decently successful, and like some people like have very fond memories of We Are the End. I was a drummer at one point in that band, and some of I don't know, I wouldn't say it's our biggest tracks, but like our second biggest, one of our second, like there was an era where they were just so good. We Are the End was so good, they got signed to Metal Blade Records, and there was a point right before it when I was in it that we were still sloppy and kind of bad, but the songs just blew up, MySpace era. And so I was a part of that, and there's a lot of people that still even request those songs to be made. I actually, on my Spotify, I have like a side project. I actually did a re-recording of it, like kind of like, here here you go, like, remember this, guys. Not like an official re-recording of We Are the End, but hey, a guy that used to be in the band and actually wrote the drums for one of the original songs is just put all the instruments, played all the instruments except for the drums. The drums are programmed now because I don't want to play drums anymore. But yeah, I digress, man. A lot of stuff that like I did that were pretty memorable, or even things that I do now, like I do a lot of those parodies, those gay parodies to like metal, and those are some of the most popular things I've ever done because comedy is popular, right? You can put your heart and soul into some projects and then it won't be received very well, but then you'll just make a couple of gay jokes and all of a sudden tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people will see your stuff. Like, the amount of people that have seen that stuff is crazy to be like, that's so stupid. But yeah, it's all like metal related, all of that stuff. And it could have, like, I guess, like, I don't know, because there's so many people that don't care about Mortal Kombat, right? Like, young boys. I imagine a significant amount that were around my age when it came out, right? We probably all kind of got into it. But I think about one of my closest friends at that time. He got into Mortal Kombat that age, and then he got older, and then he couldn't give a shit about Mortal Kombat anymore. I remember I ran into him, like, I think I was like 18 years old. I ran into his MySpace page, and I hadn't seen him since probably, we were like 10 years old or something. So you fast forward like 8 years later or whatever, and I have a Mortal Kombat quote on my MySpace page. And he's like, I see you haven't changed. And I'm like, no, I fucking have not. I not even a little bit. My sense of humor is still the same. I still love the 95 Mortal Kombat movie. I still love metal just as much. And yeah, it just has very fond memories. And so I wonder about like everybody else. Like, I think about even when it comes to some of my closer friends, I don't know. I hope that if they remember, like that actually be something to ask them too. I'm like, what was do you remember the first metal song you heard? Do you remember that? Because a lot of people may not remember it, but I feel like if it's something that steers you in a direction, you might, if it was that significant to you. It was kind of like the, there was an interesting part in my development as a kid. I remember there was like this one little, I would listen to Power 106, was a hip hop station, a lot because I still love hip hop, right? And I remember one of my favorite songs was on the radio, and I was with my older stepsister, and it was Like Whoa by Black Rob. Like, I still love that song, right? Rest in peace, Black Rob. And her boyfriend at the time, he didn't like hip hop, so he puts it on K-Rock, right? The rock station. And first I was like, hey, like, I'm just looking kind of like in the back seat, kind of like, you're like, what the fuck? Kind of like, but then it was Last Resort by Papa Roach. And hearing that fucking lick, man, those leads, I guess it's the riff, isn't it? And I was like, yo, that's fucking dope. I was like, that's dope. Like, that is... All right, Black Rob, I love you, but this is so much better. That was like another one of those moments where I'm like, oh, I think I want to keep it on K-Rock now. Put it on that station more. Put it on that, And then after a while, things just progressed. Start listening to heavier and heavier music. And my buddy Brock, he opened up the floodgates for a lot of stuff. Some of my favorite bands to this day, I listened to them for the first time in his big-ass truck he had. And, yeah, so I'm sure y'all have very similar stories, and I'm actually extremely curious. I don't read that many comments anymore because I don't really care about the internet in general that much anymore. It's like, okay, I make my money online. I have a podcast. My podcast is my main source of income and stuff like that. But you just, after a while, you kind of like, you've been doing it so many years. You're like, all right, try to read some, and I'm out of here. I'm gonna do stuff. I gotta hang out with the wife or something like that. But yeah, let me know what got you in the metal. Was it a specific song? How did you discover it? Did somebody show you? Like, all of those things right there. And then, if you found this kind of neat, I would say share it to other people that make metal content, like content creators in the metal community. Share this with them. so they can actually make a video themselves and then kind of keep it going down the line, because I think that would be really dope. But that's it for me, guys. Thanks for listening, for watching, or whatever. Do me a big favor on your way out. Just hit the like button for me, please. Thank you.